All right, hello again. I wanted to post a quick update on where I'm at with this landing gear issue. And as of the last video, I had received replacement left and right assemblies. And since I didn't have problems with the right one at the time, I only replaced the left one. And to this date, it's been a couple of months, that left one has worked exactly the way it should. The right one worked good for about a month, and then it too locked down on me. So I was going to see if I needed to adjust those adjustment tabs just a hair on that side. But instead, I just happened to get an email from GLK stating that they had a fuse upgrade and that they wanted my address so they could send it out to me. And of course, they asked how it was going, and I told them that, I've been happy with it until, that Sunday before I got the email when the right one had locked down. And GLK asked me if I had replaced it with the new one. And I told them, no, I did not. I wasn't having problems with it. And they said that I do indeed need to replace that right one also. So instead of messing with it and making any adjustments, I did indeed replace it. And it's been about 3 weeks, I believe, since replacing that one, and that one has been working fine. Now, in the process of replacing it, I paid attention to the lights on the control box, and I discovered that the old right one was not working correctly. It was not triggering the yellow down LED. Now, since this control box sits under the seat, I never really paid attention to what the lights were doing since installing it. So when I replaced it with the new right assembly, I did notice and paid attention to the lights, and they do work correctly now. So there was something going on with that right side, even though it didn't give me any problems. Now, as far as I know, the left side, all the lights were working, but since it's under the seat and it's so inconvenient to take that seat off, I can't really say for sure that adjusting the tabs made any difference to what the lights were doing. So if you do decide to get these, make sure you're paying attention to what those lights are doing and that they're lighting up in sequence on both sides. There's a green and a yellow for the up cycle and the down cycle. And you do want to keep an eye on those lights as you're making adjustments to those adjustment tabs. I didn't know that at the time of install. Their instructions are not clear on how to adjust those tabs. So they should really elaborate on how to adjust those tabs correctly and how the lights relate to your adjustments. So that's one improvement I would like to see from GLK is an external uh, indicator of those lights that could be mounted on the dash so that you can see what's happening real time. I'd feel a lot more comfortable if I could see those lights while I'm driving, and it would be a way to see if something isn't working correctly at the time and maybe save a fall or worse. So I would like to see them offer some kind of external display for those lights, whether it be more LEDs. It doesn't need to be extravagant. I just would like something I could mount on the dash of the bike so that I can see what's happening as I'm operating them. So I'm pretty much at a point where I can trust them. Took the bike out a little bit today, and up until today, I hadn't been using them. I haven't been lifting them after taking off. I always made sure to lift them beforehand. But today I tried lifting them after I take off, and no problems today. Time will tell again, but my trust is pretty close to being where I can trust using these. With that said, since I was curious about what was going on with that left side, that initial problem I had with the left side that the video shows, I decided to take that assembly apart and look at it and see if I could find any suspicious evidence of a problem. And yes, I did. So I'm going to show you some of those pictures now here. So I took them off and I took the motor cover off. And this is what I found when I took the cover off. These are standoffs. There's 4 of them. Oops, I'm sorry. I want to go back. And every single one of them is tightened down and being crushed into this flange. Now, this flange is made out of plastic. And that's another improvement that I think GLK needs to make. This needs to be made out of metal instead of plastic. As you can see, these standoffs are crushing right into it. Somebody over tightened these when they were assembled. And they're tightened here again. You can see they're crushed in there. You can see the little flakes from being crushed so hard. And this is the flange I'm talking about being made of plastic. The rest of the assembly is quality materials. But this flange and the cover is plastic. And plastic will break easy. But you can see here, these standoffs are crushed in enough to where the circuit board doesn't even come into contact with them. So that cover, when it was assembled, looks like it was putting stress on this circuit board, as you'll see in the next picture here. This is what I found on the circuit board. You can see that this hole is kind of crushed. There is a crack here. But this pad here is exposed. And that was a little concerning to me because obviously that's a problem if the cover itself is conducting. So I put a meter on the cover and checked. Even though the cover is plastic, the coating they use on it is conductive. So knowing that, I wanted to see what is under this tape. This is just a close-up of the previous picture. You can see the hole is crushed, and again, there's the pad. And to me, that looks like it melted. But here's what I found when I took the tape off. There's the pad, and look right here, you can see that this is hot. So along with the fact that the cover is conductive, this is the landing side. And maybe that would explain why my adjustment tabs weren't doing anything. Because up here, these are the connectors for the adjustment tabs. And this one goes to the lifting side. So I'm assuming since we had a connection here, this side wasn't even reading. It always thought it was up or something. Anyway, this seems to be the problem that GLK needs to step up in their quality control a little bit here and maybe change using this plastic. So that's what I found when I took the original left side apart. I have not taken the right one apart. I do not intend to at this point, but I would be curious to see if it has some of the same problems. So at some point, I will probably do that. But before I do, I want to wait and see if GLK is going to give me the paperwork to send these old ones back, because they've been asking me to send them back. And I will do that if they send me the paperwork so I don't have to pay anything. But if they don't want these back, I will eventually take that right one apart and see if it's got the same problems. I do believe GLK is a good company. They have a little bit of room for improvement, but their customer service is good. They are very concerned about their customers' happiness, but their time zone difference and their broken English hinders their attempts. If they could maybe get an English-speaking representative for us Americans, I think that would be to their benefit. If they could make their instructions more understandable and more detailed, I think that would be a good improvement. And like I previously said, if they could make that flange out of metal, I think that's a must. I think that would do the product justice also. The rest of the assembly is durable, and to skimp on that flange, there's no reason for it, really. If you do decide to buy these, and as you install them, pay attention to the lights. You can adjust the tabs if needed, but I don't think they needed to be adjusted like the replacements. The originals I got looked to be in the correct spot. And they did tell me on the replacements that I don't need to adjust them. They're where they're supposed to be. So I did not adjust any of the tabs on the right side when I replaced it. I don't remember if I did on the left side when I replaced it. I might have messed with them a little bit to see if it made any difference, but I don't remember. So keep an eye on the lights when you install these, and make sure that they're all working in the lights are all working in sequence for both sides. There are a green and a yellow LED for both sides for both cycles, the up cycle and the down cycle. So you should see the green illuminate and then the yellow illuminate. And so pay attention to that when you install them. I may in the future make an install video to help clarify some installation tips. When you install these, you want them at the correct height. You don't want them lifting up the bike too much, but you do want them down far enough to where you do feel the bike slightly lift. You want them set evenly so that the bike lifts levelly and it doesn't tilt to one side when you put the gear down. That's all I got for right now. If I can get an organized setup install video made, I will do that. But I'm still not to the point where I know enough about them to know that I should be giving installing advice. I want to thank you for watching. Stay safe out there, and many blessings to you. Bye-bye.